Welcome to Recine Time, everybody. Hey, if you want to, go to patreon.com/Recine Time and support us on Patreon. $5 a month gets you a bonus episode every single week. We're here with a friend of the show, Alejandra. Let me just make sure I'm getting this right. Let me just make sure I'm pronouncing this right. I don't want to mispronounce your name.
Please don't.
Alejandra Jimenez.
Thank you. That was pretty good.
Thank you. All right, so we got a few stories to get into. The first story that I want to talk about is how they're using so AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're using it to make fake rape victims in Iran.
Okay.
I also saw a clip earlier this week where this lady was speaking at a college commencement graduation, and she was like AI. She goes, AI is the next industrial revolution. You know, so they keep trying to they're not telling us anything good about what AI is gonna. And everybody started booing her.
Ooh, really?
Everybody was like, yeah. And then she was like, 5 years ago, AI wasn't even a part of our lives, and everybody started cheering. And they're not giving us anything with the AI. They're not saying like, here's how your life is gonna be better.
No.
Hey, there's you're gonna have a robot that you can say slurs to.
Well, I work in capitalist evil advertising,
Mm-hmm.
and they're constantly trying to sell us that AI is going to change the world for the better.
Mm-hmm.
But they also aren't telling us how. But they have
Right.
they've said that sentence like word for word several times in a lot of
change the world for the better.
Yeah, like
They never elaborate on it.
No, we have a
Yeah.
lot of vendors coming in, and they'll come and present their little product to us, which is usually an AI product, and they mention that, but I want to stop and be like, how? But I don't want to lose my job and get into a fight.
I know. Yeah. What would happen if you did? If you said how?
I feel like they would say some bullshit that goes over my head or like whatever, and I'd just be like, okay. Like I don't think it would go anywhere, but I would be curious. Next time we have one of those conversations, I will ask how.
Yeah. Yeah. You should just see what they say.
Yeah.
Record it.
Okay.
Yeah. They're always kind of like. It's like they're always talking it up. You're gonna cut that, right? That little fumble that I had.
You should not. That's staying in.
Fuck.
Please, I'm a man.
Come on,
I have a fucking wife.
I can't look stupid on my show.
Yeah, not with that fucking hat.
And I can't look stupid in this fucking hat. Come on. And I needed the hat for my stupid head.
I fucking need this.
I borrowed this hat from Michelle.
My stupid head.
No, but you know what? I've been learning how to draw a little bit. I've been drawing more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you just drawing is so hard.
So hard.
I
hate
it. I hate it too.
Yeah, it sucks. That's why I write.
And when I was a kid, I wanted to. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But writing's hard.
Well, it's easier than drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote a short story. I'm working on a short story. We'll get into it later.
Okay.
But I've been like drawing a lot, and it's like it's so they go, here's some drawing exercises. Draw a straight line. Just draw circles. Practice like drawing circles. See, draw a line and draw a line twice as long as that line, and then draw a line twice as long as that line. And it's so
I'm like, is this like
to draw a straight line? Let's see you draw a straight line. You think you could? A straight line. Get a pen. All right, fine.
You're like in some like
no, actually,
adult retarded art class. You draw a line and not a circle.
I wish those things existed because half these videos lose me. That would be. I actually wouldn't mind doing. I wouldn't mind doing that. I wouldn't mind paying to be in like a adult special needs art class.
Yes, that's what it is.
Just so I can brush up. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to draw so bad.
Yeah.
And I would cry every night because I didn't think I was a good enough artist.
Crying every night is crazy.
All right, Michelle. Here's the competition though, Michelle. We're gonna do 3 straight lines. Oh my gosh! Look at it. I'm already gonna fucking lose this thing.
Does it have to be all the way across? Oh, I see.
This is Mike's. This is my side of the thing. Michelle. All right, 3 straight vertical lines.
You're left-handed.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
All right, there's my 3 lines. Go ahead.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
They're just straight lines.
I know, but that was like nervous. I was like nervous doing that. All right.
I feel like hers are really straight.
Pretty straight, yeah.
Damn, hers are really straight.
They're a little more straight.
Yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah, let's see yours.
Okay.
And I was on my leg.
She just draws a plate of rice and beans. She just draws a tamale.
3 straight lines. It's a chihuahua. I draw chihuahua.
Is taco? I draw taco for you.
Mine are a little crooked.
Okay, yours are pretty good.
What
Yeah.
were the other challenges though besides the line?
It's like draw circles. I mean, here's how you draw a circle. You gotta you gotta ghost it first, right? You gotta go like, right?
Ghost circle.
Ghost it. You gotta draw a go, and then you gotta go like,
That's like SpongeBob.
and that's not a very good circle.
No, it's an oval.
Yeah, I know it's an oval. I know it.
Okay. You haven't learned yet.
But what I'm getting at is it takes so long to become a good artist, and now like all these artists are out of work. Storyboard artists are completely out of work because that's all AI.
Yeah.
So it's dog shit. It sucks.
I mean, every time at my job when there's art involved, it is AI 100% of the time. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. And then also a lot of the Super Bowl commercials this year were entirely AI.
Yeah. All the pictures you see these days of like Sonic the Hedgehog making out with tails.
Oh, they're not real?
They're not real anymore. That's all. That's all AI.
All the pictures of me on my Instagram, AI.
Really?
Well, a couple.
Yeah.
You got to figure out which ones. The one
Yeah.
of me with huge tits is real.
Okay.
You just can't see it in this jacket. It's an optical illusion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the dick pics I send to my wife are AI, and they're uncircumcised.
It's your dream.
Yeah.
I wish.
I send my wife AI photos of my dick, and it's before the Jews got to my penis.
Oh, they cut your dick off and drank it.
They cut my penis off and drank the blood. Yeah.
But do you ever use AI though? Like for real? Do you ever ask ChatGPT things?
I mean, yeah. When I Google something, like usually the first, like if I'm looking up a word. No,
but do you ever go to chatgpt.com? Hey, ChatGPT, I have something that I need help with.
Like emotional stuff.
In Gen 1,
that's kind of dark to me. I know there's people who do that, but that is kind of dark.
I have done that.
Really?
Yes. Some people's advice to me is stop being an F word. So I have to go to ChatGPT.
Okay, I did tell you that in confidence, and I was
really in a dark place. He had a point, but I was in a dark place. And
I was trying to give her some tough love this week. Yeah, she was upset about something. I don't know. She won't tell me what it is, but I said, but I was trying to be like, don't, because she was like, am I too old to be successful? And I was like, you got to get those limiting beliefs out of your head and stop being a crybaby.
But he said it with the F word.
Sure.
Instead.
Okay. Fine.
So I had to go, chat. Do you think I'm too old?
It's my fault you're using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And what did ChatGPT say? Yes, you are, probably.
I said
they probably said, yes, you are. Sell your eggs right now. Here's an ad for freezing your eggs.
Yeah, basically that was kind of it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. But I have used it before. Oof, tough times. I don't like it though. I don't want to do that.
What'd you say? Like I'm sad all the time?
Yeah, I want to fucking kill myself.
Oh boy. I had a feeling you were like depressed. I don't know why you didn't like reach,
I've been depressed. No, it's fine.
Okay.
It happens,
All right.
I start crying.
You should start drawing.
I can't. It makes me sad.
That'll
I cry because I fucking suck at
sad.
it.
Well, so like I said, all the artist jobs are getting taken away, and then they're using they're making like Iranian women. They're using AI to make Iranian women say I was SA'd by the Iranian regime, by the Islamic Republic. So I think it's safe to assume at this point that anything that you hear from the imperialist class is just a lie. Like you don't have to believe any of it.
Oh, 100%. Anytime I see a headline about anything, I roll my eyes and I'm like, that's not real.
Yeah.
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 Totally.
It's better to be skeptical,
Yeah, I agree.
It's better to be skeptical than to be open-minded, actually. What I'm learning is being open-minded is actually bad.
Whoa.
But being open-minded is kind of stupid.
Elaborate.
You want to keep your mind closed. You want to keep your mind closed, and you only want to have sources, people that you trust. I mean, I've been looking at a lot of Instagram reels lately, and it's all these It's only
That's a
well,
closed mind.
well, I've been looking at all these like book recommendations,
Mhm.
and there's this one guy that keeps popping up on my Instagram and my YouTube, and he's British. He's like a British guy with a beard, and he goes, "Here's the best history books I've read in the past 4 years," and then he's recommended a couple books by this guy. This guy's name is Simon Seabag Montefiore. Seabag is the guy's middle name. It's kind of funny,
Cunt bag.
but the guy is just like, the guy had some tweet. Some people found a tweet of that author, and they were like, this guy was like, there was a woman who was taken as a sex slave by ISIS when she was 11, and she was fed cooked babies, and she was also a hostage of Hamas. I'm like, this is who's writing the books. Like, this is who's writing these slop ass books
Yeah.
at Barnes and Noble. So even the books are slop.
Yeah, I know they
You know?
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can you believe? But cooked babies.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like that, but this is one of the authors that the guy is like. This guy writes these great books about history. He wrote a book about the city of Jerusalem.
Oh, I
You know?
see. I see. I see.
So you got to be careful with the books that you're reading.
Yeah, I feel like. Well, I'm reading right now a fairy, a book about fairies
Mm-hmm.
and love. But
Okay.
I don't even
Is
know
it
where to
love
get.
or is it like dirty?
They haven't had sex yet, but it's coming. She
coming.
says she feels the heat in her legs, in between her legs, and she feels that
Mhm.
it's shaking.
So she's like a regular woman, and she falls in love with a
Fairy.
a guy who's this big.
I know he's huge and ripped. You should read these descriptions.
No,
you
he's
would
like
fucking
this
get
big.
hard reading that.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see.
His muscles like show through his shirt.
Hopefully something will work these days. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put it on my tab.
I think you would love it. Actually,
Put it on my tab of things that I've tried to use to get hard.
Thinking about fairies before you fuck your wife.
All right, let's try the fairy book. All right, let's see if Raped by a Werewolf 2 will get me.
Oh my
Will
god!
give me an erection. Yeah, but it's crazy because from what we know about the Islamic Republic, the supreme leader was like, he had a tweet where he was like, he has a bunch of tweets where he's like, you have to respect your wife. You have to respect your wife and take care of your wife. Honor your wife. Make sure that you pick up after yourself. So I'm pretty sure now. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong here. It's fine if I'm wrong, but I feel like the country with the supreme leader who's saying give your wife little foot massages and kiss her feet is not going to be making his government, commit these mass rapes.
Yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense to me. I feel like, but the other side of it that I feel is that men are just men sometimes, and like if
Mhm.
someone did do that, it's not because they're Muslim, it's just because they're a man.
Mhm.
And like men just be raping like that sometimes.
I guess they do. Yeah.
And the fact that you have to say treat your woman with respect is like just that's not a Muslim thing either. It's like just men don't be doing that, and you have to like tell them, and you need a man who's like their daddy to tell them.
But is it men or is it like Western men?
I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah.
ingrained in all men.
Right.
I don't know. I only know Western men, so I
Right.
have no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm scared of all of them across the
Sure.
ocean.
I don't think you have to be scared of like the ones in China though.
I'm the most scared of them.
That'd be a fun YouTube video to be like going to China and trying. Maybe I should go to China with like big fake tits.
Walking around at
I'll
4
do-
a.m. in China by
Yeah.
myself.
I'll do like right wing like influencer content,
You should.
and I'll be like walking around with big fake tits in China. Watch what happens
Blonde
to
woman.
me. I bet, yeah, beautiful blonde woman.
That's you in a way.
It's me in a wig.
Are you lady or lady boy? Have you seen those videos?
No.
I love them.
Okay.
It's in China. It's about you go up to a girl and you go, "Are you lady or lady boy?" And they go,
Mm.
"I'm lady," but they're always lady boys
Oh yeah.
every time.
In China?
Some
or
of them
like
are in China.
Thailand?
Some of them are in Thailand. I think it's a phenomenon across the world now. Everybody
Okay.
wants to be a lady boy.
Okay.
So, anyways, that
Interesting.
could be you.
Yeah, I would be the guy making the video. I would be. I mean, it would be obvious, if lady boy, obviously,
Obviously, I'm a fucking boy.
100%, 100%. I would.
Obviously, I'm not a
definitely-
fucking lady.
I would definitely be lady boy, but But yeah, I guess. But I guess you just have to assume that everything that comes from the imperialist regime is a lie. You
Yeah.
know. And is that like a thing? Because there's this guy that I like. He's like he's a black guy who's like a Instagram creator, and he was like, man, like white people are just built like. He's like, your culture is built on lying.
Yeah.
Is that true? As someone who's like a recovering white man.
Are you in recovery? You haven't relapsed yet?
Yeah, no, I feel like I realized recently that I'm a POC. You know, I'm Southern Italian and Irish
Yeah.
and Polish.
Yeah.
So I am more, I feel like I should be more like a POC. But do white people just lie all the time?
In my experience, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% of the time they're lying, for sure.
Because my mom is very fake.
Mhm.
She lies a lot.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
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 Liar. I mean, every person that's ever had, like any manager I've ever had at a restaurant, liar.
Michelle's mom has like a daily checklist on her thing to be more white.
What does she do? What's
It
on
says-
it? Lying.
It says you yell at my daughter and lie. Yell at my daughter, eat hot chip and lie.
Call police on black people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Asian hate, Asian and black hate will never. That is a tale as old as time.
No, Patrice said that one time. He was like, they're arch enemies.
I just saw something recently in person. Fuck, what was it? It
I
was
don't know,
black
but
and Asian hate in
Oh,
real
really?
life. It was happening. It was
Really?
so fucking funny. I wish I
Yeah.
prepped that story.
Yeah. I wish he was still alive to go into that.
Yeah.
Because he's like, they don't. He's like, we love beef and broccoli. He's like, and you put,
Yeah,
he's like, you
yes.
put your restaurants in the hood with the bulletproof glass.
yeah.
It's like, he's like, it's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
You have to like slide your food around that thick ass glass.
Yeah.
He's like, I tried to make General Chow's chicken.
Chows.
And he's like, I couldn't do it.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a. I don't know what the situation there is.
I think they think that black people are bad luck. It's like a superstition or something.
Cat good luck, black guy bad luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why? Because they're dark like the night.
hmm
Oh no.
They're dark like black cats. There's also a controversy about they're talking about the dog thing a lot. Israelis are talking about the dog thing.
What's a dog thing?
Allegedly, Israelis have been trained. The Israeli army has been training dogs to SA prisoners. But everybody, all the Zionists online are like, if you believe that, you're an idiot. How stupid do you have to be to believe that that's even possible? It's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna just take your word for it.
Yeah.
You guys lie about everything. Why wouldn't you be lying about the
Right.
You know? Well,
Yeah.
you should say, yes, we do train dogs to rape people. And I would go, oh, okay. Well, they're lying.
How do you do that? Like when you know how you train a dog to
I don't know, but I mean,
like with a treat?
I guess with a treat, yeah.
You rub their nose into
You have to,
like
yeah.
genitals?
You rub your nose. If they don't do it, you rub their nose in.
Like
well,
if they pee on the floor.
Yeah. Well, you put peanut butter in the. I mean, I would guess that you put. There's
you
got to
can-
be a way to do it.
Well, if you can turn a dog to do
Listen,
that.
these people, they invented ways, okay? They can figure out how to get a dog to. Thank you.
can't
What the
get my dog to
allegations
do
say,
anything.
vivid repeated testimonies. Multiple human rights organizations and media outlets report consistent testimony from related Palestinian detainees alleging that dogs were used as a tool of sexual torture and humiliation in Israeli detention sites. Euromed Monitor said it received horrific testimonies confirming the use of police dogs to grape prisoners and detainees, and the Palestinian Center for Human Rights collected accounts describing the grape by a trained dog at Sideh Timon. Now, all of the Zionists are going like, oh, well, that how you had to be an idiot to believe that. How would one even do that? So, I don't know. All I know is I'm going to stand with my Arab brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So-
PETA should really get involved. That's also abuse of animals.
Yeah. Where's PETA?
Yeah, hello. Like that's a sexual abuse for the animal as well.
Yeah.
No one is consensually fucking in this scenario.
No. Yeah, the dog. I guess all dogs don't go to heaven because that dog's not going to heaven. Should we write that down? Okay.
That's a huge bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer. But it's funny that like the country that's been lying to everybody for almost 3 years is like that. Come on, guys. Come on.
I know.
Well, even if you're not doing it, guess what? I do believe that you are.
Yeah, I do too.
So what does that say about you? What does that say? What does that say that I believed it?
It sounds like some shit that they would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, so moving on, so it looks like Zoran met with Barack Obama. They did a little presentation at a school. They sang The Wheels on the Bus. He sang The Wheels on the Bus with Barack Obama, and Michelle sent me a video. There was people are upset about this. People are upset about Zoran's being chummy with people like Trump and Barack Obama. And I want to get into this because I feel like it's an interesting It's an interesting conversation, and it's like an important conversation, because imagine you're the mayor. Okay, we have Mayor Alejandra of New York City. You're the mayor, and you have a chance to meet Donald Trump and Kathy Hochul and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Like, what are you gonna do? Be like, go fuck yourselves? Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I'm a leftist. Fuck you.
I would do that. Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have integrity.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you did that, wouldn't that would that make your job a little more difficult?
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't it good that Trump is a little gaga over Zoran, that he seems to like genuinely like him and, have a little crush on him?
I mean, definitely. Yeah, that is good, I think. That's good for Zoran.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that, like, does he need to be friends with Obama?
I don't know. See, that's such a tough position to be in, I think, because I feel like you don't want to piss off
Obama.
Hillary and Obama.
Are they going to drone strike you?
They're going to drone strike you. Yeah. Like, imagine Barack Obama calls you and he's like, hey, Alejandra, I like what you're doing. We should do it. We should collab on something.
I think I kind of would be scared of him.
Collab on a post. I'd be scared of him too.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh shit, I got to do that or I'm going to get fucking drone striked.
You're going to get drowned in 8 inches of water.
Exactly. I'm going to mysteriously drown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to drown in a fire hydrant accident.
Why?
Because you live in Harlem and you're going to fall in the water and...
Oh, interesting.
Or you're going to drown in like a place where people don't usually drown.
I know how to swim.
Just
so you know.
Mayor Mike was drowned in a Buc-ee's bathroom.
In the toilet?
In the toilet, yeah. And it was a very clean bathroom, by the way. Obama's like, you're lucky I'm doing this at a Buc-ee's. Because they have famous, like it's like a sign of respect.
Right.
Not
like a shell or some bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like in the mob when they shoot you in the back of the head.
Yes.
Right. It's not like a Shell gas station on the Parkway.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like a nice Buc-ee's bathroom.
There's merch and souvenirs.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
You could get yourself a nice bev.
Yes.
Yeah, Zoran.
So now there's like so one would think, right? You want to sort of curry favor with the president and the former president and the
You want to do what with the president?
Well, you'd want to enchilada favor with the president.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
That's totally me.
You'd want a chimichanga with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I want a chimichanga favor with Donald Trump.
I feel like I want to have you over for dinner someday. I made burritos last week and they were pretty good. But
you want to have me over to taste the burritos?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
See if they're good?
Yeah, just take one bite and just
test?
let me know. And then I close the curtain to my kitchen and I serve them to my family. And I go, hey, she liked it. And please bring us some lemonade if you can.
I'm serving you.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. Sorry.
Wait, why?
Sorry, I'm white. It's just my whiteness popping out.
Fuck.
Sorry, I'm relapsing.
I'm sorry I invited you.
Sorry, I just relapsed. Oh. Oh, fuck. I
I'm
fell
your
off.
sponsor.
I gotta call my sponsor because I'm new to being a POC.
Wait, who's your sponsor?
What's that?
Who's your sponsor?
Yeah, I guess not you. I
Yeah.
guess who would be my sponsor?
Who would be your POC
I don't.
sponsor?
Yeah, who would be my POC sponsor?
Brendan
You?
Sagalow?
Yeah, but he's white. He's too white. Damn, who would it be? Kareem Green?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I go, Kareem, I relapsed. I invited a Mexican girl over to my house for dinner, and then I
Oh,
just
no, she's
I
not
closed the
Mexican.
curtain and made her stay in the kitchen.
I invited her
Ah.
for dinner and I made her serve us
So-
lemonade.
I'm so humiliated. He's like, it's okay, man. It's okay. You know, it's
One day at a time.
One day at a time. One day at a time.
You get a coin that's like, I haven't been white for 2 weeks.
I haven't spoken down to somebody in 2 weeks.
Called the police in a month.
I haven't lied in a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't secretly watched pornography
Yeah.
in my kids' room.
Oh, what the fuck?
Well, sometimes it's the only place you get a little
Yeah.
privacy. you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I haven't sued anybody.
Yeah. But
I haven't
Okay,
paid
so-
for groceries in 3 weeks. Okay, continue.
what do you mean?
Paying for groceries is white behavior.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, although I feel like I might have came close to getting caught.
I got caught recently.
You got caught?
Yeah.
What happened?
I didn't pay for a rotisserie chicken, and the woman, she's undercover, like straight up.
Yeah.
Actually, it's kind of fucked up.
Undercover.
Yeah.
Did she take her sweater off? And she was like,
She was wearing like.
she was half of a horse. There was a horse.
I never expected that.
No, me neither.
I was like,
I'm
whoa.
like, oh, cool! It's Horsey Day at Whole Foods.
You work here?
Ah, shit! I thought you were just a regular horse, and
Wait, what the
you're
fuck?
loss prevention.
Wait, you want my chicken?
Horses don't eat chicken.
I pet it.
Get outta
Hi,
here.
horsey.
All right, today I guess you're the
No, she was like, that chicken didn't show up on your receipt. And I was like,
Ooh.
how do you know I don't have my receipt on me?
Ooh,
Because I threw it away as soon as I got
yeah.
it. And she was like, I saw it. And I was like, no. I was like, oh, we'll go get it.
She was plain clothes. She was plain
Yes,
clothes.
and it was as I was exiting the doors.
Oh,
And so as she's like,
because once you get near the door, you're like, oh, I'm good.
yes,
You know?
I'm like literally a foot out
Allegedly.
onto the sidewalk.
Yeah, a
Then-
foot under the sidewalk.
Yeah, and so I could have just walked away because she didn't have my receipt. So I was like, "How do
Yeah.
you know?" And then she was like, And so I was like, "Okay, what do you want? Do you want the chicken back?" And she was like, "Yes." So I just gave it to her and I left.
That's so humiliating.
I don't care.
You don't care.
I
Yeah,
stole
yeah.
like 3 other things
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
mention it. So I was like, "Okay."
Right,
I took a
right.
baguette.
Right. You have to. I think you have to accept that you're gonna get caught at some point.
I mean, yeah, it
It's-
scared me for a
it's
bit,
so
but I'm back on it
embarrassing.
and nothing's happened.
You're back on it. That's good.
Yeah, I'm back on the horse, on the wagon.
Yeah, there was a guy that like because if I did that kind of thing,
Thinking about you relapsing.
if I did that kind of thing. Wait, do white people steal groceries or people of color steal groceries?
You know what? I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I think that white people are stealing that too from the culture.
Oh, they're appropriating shoplifting.
From the POC culture.
Interesting.
That's some like 14-year-old
And
Hispanic
you're like,
girl
we
shit.
invented this.
Yeah,
Us white people.
I would never pay for groceries.
We been stealing groceries. We've been about this life.
yeah.
But I think this guy because my thing is like I just act, you just go in if I did it, you just go in like it's normal, you just go in and start like putting stuff in the bag, almost like not even like there's nothing wrong with it.
That's what I do. Yeah.
And then I take the I have like a cooler bag.
Yes.
That's what I would do. I would have a cooler bag.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just put things in the cooler bag, and if you get caught, you go, "Oh, sorry, I have a long trip home, and I just want to keep everything."
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
shopping. Oh, okay. So you know what? I'll go pay for it right now. I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
I'll
exactly.
go pay for it right now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Is
Oscar,
that your?
it's Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch he's got a friend over. But
Yeah,
yeah, I guess at some point, but you just got to act like you're John Gotti, you know?
I know. I do want to stop stealing though, but I don't know.
I feel like there was a guy that was like, he was like, you know, in plain clothes, but he was like looking behind him, like looking at me over his shoulder.
You're having tweaker paranoias.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
You're taking
yeah.
things apart in
And then he went in the back. Yeah. No, and then I feel like maybe another person might have saw me put something in the bag, and I think he looked at me, you know, and then I saw the first guy. I saw him again, so I took my jacket off.
different guy.
I took my jacket off and stuffed it in the bag. Yeah.
Wait, that was a different guy.
No. I'm pretty sure the guy you're looking for had a blue jacket. I have a brown jacket. I'm wearing a brown shirt. So.
Oh, you're looking for the guy with the jacket? I think he's back there somewhere.
Damn you. I have to run out of the store.
Like Scooby Doo.
My goofy ass run. Like I run so like
with your big ass Yeti bag.
It's my goofy ass like flat footed run.
Ruh-roh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some Scooby Doo ass shit.
Because you always try to be like slick about it, but you're always like fumble because you're doing something wrong. I mean, you feel like it's wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know.
sure.
Anyway, but back to the electoral politics, folks.
Oh yeah.
Back to electoral politics. So, you know, you would think, right? Like, because AOC might run for president, right? So it feels like the what I'm seeing from more like left liberal people on Twitter is they're saying like, well, AOC is a popular politician and she has like Bernie's support and liberals like her, so it seems like that would be like a slam dunk, you know? But AOC is just going to be, you know, I think, but the counter argument to AOC from the left is that she's not going to do anything. She's like a career. She loves her career.
Yeah.
She wants to be president.
Yeah.
And so she's not really going to she's literally going to keep bombing people and starving everybody.
I kind of agree with that because they don't understand where like the fact that she's a Puerto Rican woman who had to be a waitress. Like, I'm not going back to that. I have to keep going up and up and up.
Right.
Because there's just no way in hell that I can do that again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. She's like, I already sucked Joe Biden's dick.
Where's my fucking prize?
No. She's like, no. I am going to be president. I did not suck off Joe Biden. But yeah, so it's like you just wonder because she's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because you go like, well, if anybody can be pulled to the left, you'd think it'd be her. You know, you'd think it would be like the younger Puerto Rican bartender.
Yeah.
But you know, maybe she is a more effective sort of tool for the ruling class, right? Because then she can, you know, she's got the people. So she's got the people. She's got a lot of the people. The people seem to like her.
Yeah.
So.
Do they?
What?
Do they like her? I feel like people don't like her.
A lot of people don't like her, but I think she is, among like normies, she's pretty popular.
Yeah, among
like libs.
Yeah,
libs do like her.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah,
and that should kind of tell you something.
I know.
We need to run somebody that libs hate.
Right.
But who do liberals hate?
Yeah, you should run.
I know. I should run for president.
Yeah, you should definitely run.
Yeah.
I never thought of that before.
Listen.
Fishing for compliments?
Listen, liberals hate me. I'm really annoying. I have a lot of problematic history. You know, from podcasts.
Yeah.
I've said all kinds of stuff. You could probably make a 3-hour montage of slurs I've said on podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, but I would just be like, we're going to get healthcare. And
but you're a POC.
And I'm a POC.
You're a POC.
Yeah, and there'd be a whole discourse about how he's not actually a POC.
Yeah, you're Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah, but somebody needs to run who's not AOC.
Yeah,
who's gonna like piss off the libs. I don't know who that is. Maybe Rashida. Maybe
Rashida, who's
Rashida,
that?
she's a congressperson from.
Oh yes, yeah.
You just need like an annoying. You need somebody at least if we're gonna have a primary, which we haven't had in like 8 years.
Yeah.
We should at least get somebody who's like that. We should get the farthest left person we can find. You know,
Right. And who is I mean, you're probably the most left person I know.
am I?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad
I know.
because I'm a white man. But I'll betray everybody just as faster than fucking AOC will. You know,
Yeah.
once you dangle a PlayStation 5 in front of my nose,
An Olive Garden free for life gift card.
yeah, I go on PB right. Olive Garden.
Should we go there?
Take that back.
Why haven't we been there?
Because it's disgusting.
No, it's not.
Because it's an abomination
You
of
like
the culture.
it.
The
I
Olive
know
Garden.
you like it. Yes.
You think I like the Olive Garden?
Yes.
You think I wear a disguise and you think
You put on a brown jacket.
you think I put on a trench coat and a fedora and dark sunglasses and I tell my wife that I have a spot. You think I take the 2 train to Times Square? You think I take the train to Times Square and I sit down and I order the unlimited soup and salad breadsticks at the Olive Garden?
Yes.
I remember being like 9 years old, going to the Olive Garden and being like, this is disgusting. This is slop. Why are we eating here? We're like, aren't we self-respecting? Yeah, me and my dad and my grandparents being like, aren't we like self-respecting Italians?
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah.
Yeah. We overheard this waiter one time. He was telling a table what pasta fazool was. He's like, well, pasta fazool, it's kind of like Italian chili.
That pissed you off,
I was
huh?
like, I pissed me off.
Yeah, that got
Big
you
time.
going.
You're lucky there wasn't Yelp back then, buddy. You're lucky I didn't have a smartphone. Start writing a review of my little fat fingers.
Your little 9-year-old fat fingers.
My little 9-year-old fat fingers.
That's how I feel when people
Actually-
say pupusas are pancakes.
Uh-huh.
They're meat-filled pancakes. They're fucking not pancakes. I
They're
guess
not
by
pancakes.
shape, you fucking R's.
Yeah. They're heavy. They're heavy though, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
You never had one because you're afraid.
Not afraid.
You're afraid to go into the Salvadorian part of town.
What's the Salvadoran part of town? I'll go right now.
Bushwick, we're here.
I'll go right now wearing an American flag around my neck.
You'd probably get like a marriage proposal.
Wearing an American
Yeah.
right. I'll wear my American flag diaper.
Why would they be poking out?
I don't know. What about arepas?
Yeah, they're good.
You ever go to arepa lady?
Yes, I already know what you're gonna say.
Arepa lady. Hey, we go to arepa lady.
Arepa.
Arepa lady. I want a arepa lady. Imagine like a guy telling his like they're like Hector, where do you want to go for your birthday? And he's like, oh, how about arepa lady? It's a real restaurant, folks.
I have respect for the arepa culture, so
Oh yeah.
I can't co-sign on this joke.
Okay. So you're Zoran
Yeah.
and you're meeting with Obama and you're just like, what do I do here? Do you? Because you can't really tell Obama to go fuck off,
No.
right?
No, but you can be fake. Maybe he was being fake.
Yeah.
Maybe he was showing out to feed his ego. Because as a woman, you got to do that shit. Like you got to feed the guy's ego so he doesn't kill you or whatever. You can get what you
Right.
want from him.
Right. I feel like it's so hard too, not like once you're a part of the club to not work within the club. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, of course I'm going to do a thing with Obama because it's not,
He's so cool.
you know? Yeah.
He dunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Americans are so cucked. Americans are so cucked that they're going to be like, what are you doing? Why aren't you, you know? And what I realized today was like, I'm not really ready to let go of my perception of Obama,
Which is what?
which is that he was like a cool black president who was progressive, and he was president when, you know, I was getting laid a decent amount.
Yes.
So everything was pretty
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Obama was president when my rent was like $465 a month.
Oof.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, but I was going back to I was looking at some of his early speeches. Now Obama was very he was very like pro-Palestine early in his career when he was a community organizer, and he was friends with this guy Rashid Khalidi who wrote the 100 Years War on Palestine. And so Obama like understood Israel Palestine like very well. He was almost like a Mike Recine in a way, because a lot of times I think I would like to go to jail because I could just read the Quran all day. You know,
You become a black Israelite.
I'd wear one of those little
mean,
hats.
Black
Well,
Panther?
Chris Hedges.
I could meet Chris Hedges. I'd be a white Israelite.
Just a Jewish person.
I'm just like, well, in jail, you're the minority. So I would just stand on a soapbox all day and be like, look at this motherfucker over here. me and three other guys were just reading the Bible, just harassing everybody in jail. Look at you ugly motherfucker. Look at this demon over here. We're the real black guys.
And tables have turned, haven't they?
Just becoming a black Israelite in jail. But you're white.
Wait, white is so funny. Wait, what do you feel about black Israelites? Are they Zionists?
No, I think they're like anti.
They're just like fun.
All I know is I saw a video one time where one of them like pushed a lady over. Like this woman came to like argue with them, and then one of them pushed her over.
That's so sick.
It's not nice. Yeah,
No, it's not nice, but
It's
it's
really-
sick that it was recorded.
yeah. It was hard to root for anyone in that video, but ultimately I do have to side with my fellow men, the POCs.
Yes, the black
I
Israelites.
do have to side with the POC men against the white women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're Zoran,
Yeah, so that I think that's what's interesting is like what is to be done, as Lenin would say.
what is to be done? I don't know.
And I'm thinking like can we have a third party? But there's nobody on the left who has the balls to,
Yeah.
to be like, yes, I am a problematic white boy.
Why do they have to be white?
They don't have to be white. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. But who's like crazy? Who is like a crazy leftist? It would have to be like, I don't know, Finkelstein or somebody, or
Who is that?
Norman Finkelstein.
I'm sorry, man.
What about Brianna? Can she run for president? Brianna Joy Gray?
Technically, she can.
Yeah. Can we start like a third party or something?
They
I don't know.
exist.
This isn't really my wheelhouse. My wheelhouse is more doing bits where I'm a white black Israelite in prison.
I mean, that could be
Gonna-
good though to run on
Right.
that.
Harass everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I did go to jail, and I own that place. I bullied everyone in the jail nonstop, and they couldn't do anything because I would be like, "You're actually racist," because in here I'm the
Minority.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just outwoke them.
And you guys control the means of production.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, if you hit me, you're punching down right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're punching down at a white man in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need
I'm like, what?
I need you to fix the way that the hat is pulling on your eyebrow. It's really taut. It's the Botox.
You're like yassified.
You're like, actually, you can't call us crackers.
Yeah.
I know on the outside you can call us crackers, but yeah. You can't call us a cracker.
We built this prison.
I'm like, hey, yeah. Yeah, we
no.
did. Yeah. We built this prison by providing our asses to the guy. I don't know how that works, but I
Whatever,
haven't,
dude. You
I haven't
figured it
fleshed
out.
that one out yet, but that's why podcasting is hard.
But
Um,
yeah, your view of who Obama was, you weren't ready to let that go. I feel that.
yeah, so Obama was like friends with Rashid Khalidi, and Obama was very much like yeah, he was pro-Palestine, but when he was president, he would say like no one's more pro-Israel than me, and he would say stuff like, yeah, and like we have to, like I'm committed to Israel's security. It was very soft. It was like soft,
Yeah.
It was like very liberal and very two-state solution, and Palestinians deserve a right to, self-determination. We should do a two-state solution. And it wasn't like, hard-lined, but it was support. It was support for Israel. Just I think the wording is a little different. A 2-state solution is not really viable because of all the settlers in the West Bank, and it doesn't really make sense because then you got to remove all the settlers if you want to make a Palestinian state in the West Bank. But then what do you do with all the people? Like, what do you do with the people in Gaza? And and how do you, like, it should just be all one. It's got to just be one thing. But Obama was Obama was talking about it as if, the framing of it is like, and this is how people I think viewed it most of their life, at least how I did. I remember being younger and wanting to understand what was going on, but the thing being framed is like this complicated, this like very complicated conflict that's sad, and it's so many people have died, and these people just can't. These people just can't. They're always fighting, and it's so sad. We got to find peace. We got to find a solution.
It's giving like parents. It's giving like, why are my parents fighting? Like they just need to get along.
They need to get along. It's giving like
divorced parents.
It's giving the Parent Trap. But then you find out that actually the mom imprisoned the dad and took all his money or something like that. Or it's like if two neighbors, it's like framing it as like, oh, these two neighbors are fighting all the time.
Right.
But then you find out that the one neighbor killed the other guy's family.
Yeah. Yes, totally.
So that narrative is kind of like not really, that's sort of crumbling and falling apart.
Definitely.
So it's interesting.
The fact that it's sold as incredibly complicated, I think, got into my mind somehow, and that I genuinely believe that it was too complicated for me to understand. Until very recently, until you told me.
Oh yeah,
I'm not even kidding. Yes, because I was like, I don't know what's going on, and you were like, you fucking are, and then you told me.
I don't think I said that.
You said, stop being an F, you fucking are.
No,
stop being an F, you F and R.
No, but it's pretty simple once you understand like the framework of it, and I think now more people do.
But it's so sad. It's so hard to inform yourself. It's so depressing.
Yeah, it is, but it's also liberating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that if you talk to like Palestinians who actually live in Gaza, they'll be like, this is just a temporary thing. Like we're gonna kick you out of you're gonna leave soon.
Who is left in Gaza? What Palestinians are left?
There's probably...
Sounds like they're obliterating.
But I think there's over 1 million people that live there. Well, they also keep having babies, so that's good.
Yeah, but then they're poisoning their formula.
Yes.
And how are you going to raise a baby in a war zone? I don't get it.
Talk about the formula because that was off mic.
Yeah. Okay. So there's another story where the aid that's coming into Gaza. They're trucking in formula, but they're switching the formula, and that's like bad. That's bad for infants because their bodies are developing.
Yeah.
So their bodies take a while to adjust. So you can't like switch up an infant's formula because it's bad for them. So they're like softly poisoning these people.
Yes.
Soft, like slowly.
Yeah.
Lightly, hurting and killing them. To me, that seems that's very evil.
Anything to have to do with babies is another level of evil.
Because they have to have doctors that know that. There have to be doctors that are like, actually, if we switch the formula, we can kill more babies.
Right.
Like somebody went to medical school. And they're like, I have an idea. Get me Netanyahu on the phone.
Right. I have a genius
I bet if we
idea.
switch their formula, we can,
I'm so afraid of these people. Not like specific. I'm not the ethnicity or religion, but just people who are vile like that, like in general.
Yeah.
I'm scared of them. And I feel like a lot of time.
And there's nothing like Jewish about them. There's nothing Jewish about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it really has nothing to do with religion. And it's like, is that even like if you took. Is it just because it's the fact that they're Palestinians, it's okay in your religion to do? To do like by any means necessary?
Yeah, I think it's like a supremacist. They feel like they're entitled to the land, and it's like,
isn't all religion kind of based on like a set of morals?
You would think.
Yeah.
But religion is very malleable.
Right. I mean,
Like you can like people's like feelings are you can manipulate people's feelings.
definitely,
You
for
know?
sure.
So
It's
if somebody believes in God, if you believe in Jesus, which you're Central American, so I'm sure that you do.
okay.
If you believe in Jesus, and I know that you love Jesus,
Uh-huh.
then I can be like, hey, well, Jesus actually wants you. You're a Christian, right? Because Christians, we all support the
We have to
death
kill
thing
those
over here.
babies because God wants us to.
Yeah, but don't you feel like if you were evil, you would try to find the symbolism that you could like hide behind? So if you were evil, you'd be like, who's the victim? What are the victims? What do people sympathize with? And after the Holocaust, it was Judaism and
Mm-hmm.
the Star of David.
Yeah, totally. That's
So
horrific.
would you be like, oh, I'm evil, so I'll just
Yes.
I'll just change hats?
Right.
I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
That's true. That's true. I mean, it's like Trump does that all the time. Like I was almost shot.
Yeah.
Now I'm the guy that's a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, but the formula thing is crazy because it's like it's such a sneaky thing to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like you can hit a kid, right? I can smack my son in the face, and that's bad
I don't know why that's so funny.
because it'll never happen, and he's like,
and Benny's so cute.
yeah,
so
he's
hitting him is
abusive
crazy.
to me.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, he threatens me now.
What does he say?
He goes, "Do you want me to punch you?" And I'm just like, you would never. I guess we're not POC because only white kids talk to their father that way.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, "Do you want me to punch you in the belly?"
I hate you.
I'm
Shut
like,
up.
Why are you threatening me?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a little bit like rude, but I want him to be less inhibited than I was.
Yeah.
I want him to feel like free. He probably will end up a sex criminal. But I was raised very strict,
Yeah.
And I think the three of us were.
Yeah.
So I guess I want him to feel like less inhibited and like he can say what he wants, express himself.
Yes, who he is as a person
So.
is more important, and like his confidence in himself.
Yeah.
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 But
But sometimes he'll be punching me on the subway, and I go, God, I hope there's no black people around.
and they're
to see
looking at
this."
you like,
Damn.
Did I tell you when I was on the train recently, like in Bushwick, and a woman is a kid is screaming like the top of his lungs, and a
Mhm.
woman is also screaming and crying at the top of her lungs, and she goes, "Everybody, look, he hits me!" Her little kid was hitting her. He was just saying, like, "I'm an abuser, and I'm not an abuser. He's an abuser," and it was
Okay.
just like chaos and
That's
madness.
kind of good.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
But you're always stronger than a kid.
Well, I know,
Till
but I
you're
think she was
not.
at her
Till you're
wit's
not.
end. I think she was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill everybody today."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like if she had a car, she would have driven it off the fucking road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, he is mostly like pretty good, but
Yeah, he's great.
he's confident.
Yeah,
He's a confident boy.
he's smart.
Yeah.
I think he'll be just fine.
Okay. Do you want me to punch you? Like he says it like I'm supposed to be like, "Oh no, sir." You know? Sorry.
Oh, I'm so scared.
Yeah.
Well, you did teach him what Monster was. He's all jacked up on Monster
He's
trying to
jacked up on
punch
Monster,
you.
Yeah. Yeah. One time he was like crying because I wouldn't take him to Dave and Buster's, and he goes, "This is like maybe a year ago." He's like, "If you don't take me to Dave and Buster's, I'm gonna punch you in the penis." It was like so serious. He was like being so for real.
Yeah.
With that.
Did you ever threaten to punch him in the penis?
No, I
I guess
can't.
that's weird.
I can't like make him afraid.
Right.
But he doesn't take punishment very well. If we give him a timeout, he like freaks out.
Right.
So I don't know what's. But what I was getting at is like switching the formula is such a weak. It's such a weak thing to do. You don't even have to look the kid in the eye that you're hurting. You know.
Yeah.
But it's almost like hitting a kid is wrong. But there was also a story from a while back. This couple, I think it was a teacher and her husband, and they made like semen laced cupcakes for the class.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like that's way more evil than punching a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. Yes.
Because nobody knows. It's so sneaky. And I don't know how they got caught.
Hey, someone took a bite and they're like, "There's cum in this."
Yeah,
I know that flavor anywhere.
the principal came. Yeah, the principal came in. He's like, "Don't mind if I do."
Wait, he's fucking cum in this.
Okay. Hello, children. It's Principal Skinner. Oh, looks like somebody brought in cupcakes. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Is there semen in this? Who put semen in?
Send it to a lab.
I
semen?
hope to God. Hopefully, there was an angel that was present at the school that day. You know, an angel who ate the first cupcake.
Yes.
You know, maybe like a homeless woman or something.
Yeah.
Got the first cupcake. She was like, I think there's semen in here. It was Whoopi Goldberg's sister that she doesn't talk to.
Whoa, I didn't know she had a sister she doesn't talk to.
I was just thinking.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Funny.
I thought it was weird too.
No. There's semen in these cupcakes. I'm Whoopi Goldberg's homeless sister
That she doesn't talk to.
that she doesn't talk to. No.
Don't talk to me.
I'm telling Whoopi about this one.
But she won't fucking talk to me.
And Whoopi like takes credit for finding the.
Yeah.
She doesn't even
Journalism.
say anything about her sister.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, Whoopi Goldberg is the greatest journalist.
She's my favorite journalist.
But really, her homeless sister just, yeah, took all her stuff.
The semen cupcake thing is weird because, like, also when you watch the kid eat it,
Yeah.
That's the thrill. I'm assuming watching a kid eat your cum cupcake.
Yeah. What was it like? Take your husband to work day or something? Hey, do you kids want to meet a construction worker?
Oh.
Yeah. How we doing on time? Okay. Should we go to Patreon? All right, let's go to Patreon. We got some more stuff to talk about. You could stay. You can stay for as long as you want.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't feel like you have to.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you got to go.
I mean, I don't necessarily have to, but I want to get food at some point.
All right. You want to do? All right. We'll do like at least maybe 20, and then I'll do the rest.
Yeah.
Do you want me to order food right now?
Yeah.
Do you want me to punch you in the penis? Okay.
I keep thinking about what I would do if I was Zoran. Oh, and I'm also thinking about the way you feel about Obama real quick. I just want to say that, like, you're not ready to let go of what you thought he was. That's how I feel about Zoran, because I'm seeing a lot of stuff about how Zoran is just another one of these charismatic leaders who tricks you into believing things.
But you know what? It's too early. Can we give him a little bit of can we give him a year at least? That's how I feel.
But this one specific account that I
let
go
my
to,
wife flicker bean to the guy for a little more.
He is hot. Okay,
Is he?
anyway. Well, I actually don't know if he's hot anymore. I don't know. Like, literally seeing him with Obama kind of gave me the ick. Yeah.
Did it?
Not because of, I don't know. There's something about it that's like a little clout chasing.
Yeah.
Oh, you're with Obama now?
Yeah.
Why don't you get back? I'm still paying for the fucking bus. So how about that?
Right.
And
all right, we'll
$3.
Oh, we're on Patreon. Okay, we're on Patreon. Yeah, they don't do unlimited Metro cards anymore, do they?
No.
What the fuck is that about?
You know.
What?
Yeah.
But it's stupid. But so every ride is $3.
And,
so they because it used to be if you made it to $34 in a week, you know, they wouldn't charge you anymore. What the fuck?
I don't pay for it.